Welcome back to another episode of SDS with your newest host. Hey man, I'm getting used to this thing. L Face is hosted today, but listen, as the season has officially ended, it doesn't mean that the content has ended. SDS will still be providing you weekly content throughout the whole off season. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Listen, please. Let me introduce my lovely host. My lovely panel, man. My lovely panel, yeah? My lovely panel. My vice captain. El Capitan. Capitan.
Come on, baby. I'm amazing. I'm amazing as always. It's
good
to see you.
You say El Capitan, I was saying Vice Capitan.
No, vice captain.
Vice captain.
The man who scouted Dewey 2 years ago.
No, not 2 years ago.
Star player.
But
I scouted
glad
him.
I won the war. Glad I won the war.
Well, I first. No claps?
No. I didn't get no claps. What's going on?
And the man who told Dewey where to shoot.
Hey.
Never paused, yeah?
They call him Desi now, man.
Nah.
You guys call him Desi.
Desi Eagle.
Yeah, I call him Desi, man.
Hey, Leah. Welcome, baby. Welcome.
Well, listen, in today's video, we are going to be ranking every single Premier League team this season and the way they've done it, whether that is the Premier League or Cups competitions, the Champions League, and of course, transfers as well. We have got a special twist to it. It's not going to be a boring, the same way every channel does it, just put in a tier list. We are going to be doing it differently. We are only going to be ranking 5 teams in every single category. The categories are great season, good season, below average season, and a poor season. Only 5 teams per category.
Okay.
So this is why it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tough, but this is what the debate's going to be. And we have to agree on every single category.
We can move teams though, right? If we put
towards the end.
Okay,
once we slap 5 teams in one category, towards the end of the video, we can agree where each team goes, and we have to put them in the right order as well. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per category. Okay. And the first team we start with is Arsenal.
By the way, before we do Arsenal, you're saying, I think you said before, this is all competitions, not just the Premier League.
Prem, FA Cup,
so what they did
League
in
Cup,
their entire season.
everything, plus if you want to add transfers, whether they did well, signing someone, everything. Everything into account.
Okay.
Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. The first team is Arsenal. And I think it's best for you to start. Where do you think Arsenal, before just say a category and we can...
It's weird because looking at the categories, as you said, great season, good season, below average season, and poor season. We talk about transfers at the start. Below average transfer,
poor.
if not
I would
poor.
say poor.
If not poor. So for me, I'm already starting off at the bottom-ish.
Okay.
As you said, you're looking at club competitions. I'm not even counting Premier League yet. Semi-final of the Carabao, I think. Semi-final of the Champions League. FA Cup, I forgot. I can't remember.
First round you guys were in against us.
United.
Yeah, United first round at home. 10 men, correct? Penalties.
Yeah. And the league, you finished second.
Yeah.
And now if you want add performances to it, have you been...
I've not been... I can't lie yet. If there's anything that describes the word mid... I think that's Arsenal this season. I can't, like, if you were to tell me now, oh, by the way, I think Arsenal's had a good season. If we all sat on the table and said, has Arsenal had a good season?
No. I wouldn't say that.
We haven't. So we already eliminated great season.
It wouldn't be good.
So,
but I think, look, the Premier League, I think, has been meh. Look, you finished second, which isn't a bad season.
We wanted to give away our second place.
Man, let's talk about giveaway. But realistically,
I genuinely felt like
finish second in the
back end of the season,
if you finish second in the Premier, it's not a bad season, right? You can't say it's a bad season to finish second, even though the expectation or the hope was to go one step further. But you can't say it's bad. The Carabao Cup, the manner in which you lost 4-0 on aggregate, that was bad.
Embarrassing.
But you guys went to the Champions League semi-final, and that was an impressive run. I know you lost to the winners, but that was actually an impressive run that Arsenal
100%.
You beat Real Madrid, which you guys
it was a Champions League final.
That was probably the highlight of the season.
Most likely probably is, yeah, definitely. But going back onto, like you said, within the league, the only reason, you know how you said we finished second and everything, obviously we're going to go to other teams, but Man City, probably one of the worst seasons in a very long time. Chelsea did it. Chelsea are rebound, like they're bouncing back. United were awful. Spurs were awful. Like only competition was Liverpool.
Could you not say
they kind of ran away there.
Could you not say with Arsenal as well to the injuries? They did have a lot of injuries.
Injury hype,
big
man.
Guys
it goes injury hype for me. It goes back.
I think it's a valid claim. I don't think you guys were ever going to beat Liverpool to the title, but also the fact you guys got 74 points, I do think is a.
You know what?
And that includes Saka, your best player, being out for 4 months.
Bro, Gabriel Jesus going out for a while. Havertz, Gabriel's been out for the last 3 months. I think there's a lot of injuries.
Gabriel Jesus one I was upset with, obviously, because ACL you can't predict that. You never know when that's going to happen. happen. Obviously, Odegaard had that ankle injury early in the season.
Yeah,
so Mourinho done his shoulder for that first training session.
Whole year, basically.
But the hamstring ones, I can't lie, it's like premeditated in terms of, you've seen, like, we've played with Arsenal especially. I can't lie, I genuinely felt like it was going to, I was sad that happened, but we've run these players to the ground for the last 3 years with no real replacement. And when we do have it, Tommy Yasu's been out for God knows how long. Like I said, Ben White had surgery on something that has been done.
Okay.
Going back to it, for me, below average. If there's anything just below that.
Before we put Arsenal in the category, what was your expectation heading in
winning the league? So
you've basically not
winning something.
Yeah. So winning the league or Champions League?
The transfer window you guys had, I didn't think you guys were winning.
For me, it was either Champions League or Premier League. Champions League, Premier League or bust. That's how I looked at it.
So you failed?
No, but
that's
not what your hope was, though. That's what you were demanding of Arteta. But
I was demanding that from the club. I can't lie.
But what was your expectation when you saw the window that you guys had? Did you expect to win the Premier League Champions League?
I expected one or the other. I genuinely did.
I think they actually did, because you look at it last year. Last year they got to the quarterfinals, was it? And then Bayern Munich, you kind of underperformed.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, if we can get our act together, we have a squad good enough of going deeper in the
lost,
Champions League.
Obviously,
and I think in the league,
season,
I don't think anybody expected Liverpool first year on a slot. No. So they thought if Man City do fall away, we're the team best in position. Even if we don't really add anything with what we've got, I think they expected to win the title. And even if they didn't win the title, I think the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup would have been a softened the blow of maybe not winning the league or the Champions League.
For me, the disappointing thing with Arsenal isn't the fact that they came second, it's the fact that they didn't make progress on the last year, because I think that's the most important thing for every football club. It's got to be a positive trajectory. So the last few years they were coming second, but it's a different second to this year, because they were getting closer and closer. They were pushing the title race till the very last day, till the second last day. I genuinely didn't feel for a single part this whole year they were competing with Liverpool.
Question though, in the context of the entire Premier League, because you got to remember we got to put 5 teams in every category. I don't know if even though they've been below their expectations, I wouldn't put them in.
What we can do is
it's impossible to say Arsenal compared to some of these teams.
Below average, even. I mean, I can think of a lot more teams that have had more below average season.
That's why for me it's like
a category between good and below average. I would put them.
That's for me. That is mid. I genuinely feel like we've had a mid.
That's why you can put them towards the end of the video, towards the end of the last of the good teams.
But then let me ask you this: if you was like just a top team, just any top team, if you got told at the start of the season you're going to finish second, semi-finals of the Champions League, semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, would you not look at that as not a great season, but a good season? We were competing.
And on top of that, the injuries that you had throughout the whole season.
With all that,
let me add on to that. One last point. If we're putting 5 in great and 5 in good, you could have had the 10th best season in the entire Premier League and still had a good season.
Yeah.
But you could also still argue 9 other teams had better seasons.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it in the context of the Premier League. I would say it's a good season.
Out of those 4, I'd put them good.
Good? Are you happy with good?
If you guys are happy, obviously as I asked, it's mid. But if you want to look at that, and then obviously even during the season, the decisions like the red cards and all that stuff.
Mid is not great, not bad. That's like 10th, around the middle of the pack.
So I don't mind.
Yeah,
cool.
All right, so Arsenal is being put into good season. The next team is Aston Villa. They finished outside of the Champions League with all the wages which they had. We all know about.
Yeah,
it's big.
They had a good Champions League camp. Let's be real. They finished top 8.
They put the best fight against PSG.
They finished top 8.
Closest.
Yeah.
They beat Club Brugge in the round of 16.
Yeah.
Semi-final, they beat PSG at, of course, Villa Park.
Yeah.
Semi-finals of the FA Cup, lost to Palace.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And the League Cup, I'm not too sure about. What do you think in terms of an overall and this player performances? How are we seeing it their season?
So let's start off with. I think they had a very good transfer window.
They signed. Let's have a look.
They signed Tielemans.
No, Tielemans was last season.
Onana.
Tielemans was last season.
Onana
was this season.
Onana was this season. I think it was Tielemans on a free this season.
Onana, Matson.
Matson was mid. Daniel Malin, Rashford, Asensio.
Coming on loan for both of them,
Disasi.
And then in terms of the league, do you think...
I think they've had a great season.
Great.
And the reason why I say that is because I don't think anybody would have expected them to qualify Champions League back to back, being in the Champions League as well this year. I think everybody, when you've seen teams like a Newcastle or whatever, when they qualify, they always have that massive drop off the next year where they finish 8th, 10th. I think the fact that they were competing pretty much all year in and around those Champions League spots, you look at their Champions League run, they had some great nights within that. I think got to a quarterfinal. As you said, gave the winners their closest games. in my opinion. I think FA Cup, okay, Crystal Palace went on to win it, semi-final. Maybe you should have beat them.
They got smoked.
They got absolutely smoked. I can't lie. Yeah. But in totality of it, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you had a good window. You had good moments. You had players that played really well. You got far in competitions. And even qualifying for Europa League for me this year, if you ask Aston Villa fans at the start of the season, would you take that? I reckon they probably would have.
Maybe if fans would have taken that. I don't disagree with anything you just said, but I think the owners and the board and the coach, with how much they invested into the squad, wouldn't have taken that. And I think that's why the last day of the season, as well as the fact that they kind of got robbed with the decision, was so disappointing for them, because they did put so many eggs in that Champions League basket, and now their squad next year is going to be hampered. They're probably going to have to let go of guys because they don't have the financial power.
And you got to remember as well, because the English teams did well this season, so the coefficient obviously changed, where the 5th spot is Champions League, and you still missed out on that in terms of finishing 6th. It changes. For me, it changes. Obviously, Europa League's good, but in reality, there would have been conference.
And the competition around you weren't the best as well. Like he just said earlier, City was bad, Chelsea was inconsistent, Spurs United wasn't even in the picture. You're not. How can you let Forest, which we'll come to, and Newcastle finish above you, where you
Forest finished below them.
You're below them. But
Forest
you should be finishing. Let's be real, with everything that you had, you should be finishing at least in Champions League. So I don't think.
I don't know.
For me, this is. I don't know.
They have to.
I think
helps them out.
The Champions League, I think, as a club helps them out, but to put that expectation on Aston Villa at the start of the season, I don't think anybody in the pre-season predictions or whatever had Villa in their top 4.
But should they have had them? Because I think maybe we talk about.
I think you would have had them battling. You would have had them battling. And I think if you've put them 5th or 6th, you would have said, that's probably where I can see them failing off at the end of the season. And that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Champions League, they beat.
And I think the annoyance is the fact that it happened on the last day.
They beat PSG. They drew to Juve.
PSG.
Sorry, I stopped on the group. Yeah, they beat
PSG. They beat Bayern. So they had some nice special
they had
European
some
nights.
Incredible European nights as well. But take into what I'm looking at is the totality of the whole Premier League. How many teams are you going to put in there as great seasons?
I don't think they're a great season, personally.
If you were to go in, I
think there might be one we review at the end.
But can we all agree though they've had a better season than Arsenal?
No, I don't think so.
Ooh.
I don't think so. I think they're actually very similar in terms
I think
because I think one thing we have to talk about here, guys, as well too, and I think Villa fans have started bringing this up, but it does feel like Villa every single time it's the biggest moment do kind of seem to fall short. The Crystal Palace semi-final is a disaster. Let's call it what it is. FA Cup semi-final against a team in Palace that they went on to win it, big for them, but they were the big favorites for that game, and to get smoked the way they did, horrible. We can talk about the way they missed out on Champions League. They were the form team in the league heading into that last game of the season, against the worst Man United team of the last 25 years. And they can talk about the decision. They got smoked that game. Yeah. We battered them that game. That's a choke for them to lose to Man United.
You man didn't have nothing to play for.
We had nothing to play for, and we were much better than them. So I look at Villa, a lot of like the big moments this season where it did feel like, okay, take advantage of it. You can make the next step. I did feel like they kind of, whether it's bad substitutions or even against PSG, they could have beat PSG if Unai Emery doesn't take Rashford off when he does.
True, yeah.
All right, they do have the depth.
Good season.
I wouldn't give great.
I would say let's put them good season towards the end of the video. We can rank them where they should be.
There's a lot of teams that like in terms of their expectations, you could say had a better season than Villa.
And one of them being the next team,
100%.
Bournemouth.
100%.
Yeah. Bournemouth came into the season, good debut season by Anthony. Which, I mean, I can say, I won the battle, I won the war, I won everything. Well, listen, great debut season. He followed up with, to me, I think I'll start off with, signings first of all, Dean Huijsen, elite signing. The fact that they managed to get him.
Who did they bring in? It was Dean Huijsen, Evan Nilsson,
the
keeper,
Sell him Slang for 65 million is a plus to me. Kepa they signed, who did decent for them.
Had a good season. I think he had a decent season for them.
A good season for them. In terms of overall, they started very well, and then between Feb and April,
they fell off a little.
They fell off properly.
That's your all those teams. I feel like they're so intense that it's always going to kind of happen.
But in terms of expectations, I would put them great season.
Are we only saying?
Hell no. They finished 9th.
Yeah, I want to say great season.
They finished 9th.
What's Bournemouth's objective for the season?
That's roughly where I would have expected them.
I want to say great season.
I think between 9th and 12th, when you look at where they were last year, I think you knew Anthony was a good manager. Coming into this season, I was expecting him, like Brentford, competing for those top half positions. The fact that they were there pretty much in the European race all year and then finished off 9th, that's like a massive drop-off. In the Cups, they didn't have any deep runs. I think, what was it?
Talking about
quarterfinals of the FA Cup.
I don't know what they did in the Carabao and the FA Cup, but they didn't look great.
FA Cup, they got quarterfinals. They lost to Aston Villa. Carabao Cup, let me just check quickly.
But even if we base on the league, they've beaten almost every single big team Arsenal.
Undefeated against us.
They beat City. They beat Liverpool. They drew.
Bro, they
against.
lost to West Ham in the Carabao Cup early rounds.
Yeah, but FA Cup, I think they won quarters against.
They went quarters. Villa, they lost it.
Villa, yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
I'm
what,
like,
so
they didn't have any magical cup runs.
But it's Bournemouth. I think their expectation is a bit different, bro. For Bournemouth to even go on a cup run would have been crazy. That would have probably elevated it to.
Voila. Palace did. Newcastle did.
Yeah,
Spurs did.
That's true. I think I'd give Bournemouth good. I think I'd give Bournemouth a good season. I think a good season.
That I agree. Great season. I'm like, whoa. He's doing
If
Iraola.
they, you know what? If
You're
they
trying to do
maintain-
Iraola boost. I get it.
If they maintained it, but to be fair,
If they even got Europe.
by the way, you know what's good as
If
well?
they even got Europe,
I would
if
have
they
put
got Europe conference, I would have said
I'd say
great
great
season.
I respect it, and what they did as well. They signed Dean Huijsen for 18 million. They sold him 58 million. So the profit in one season. Fair play
And
to them as
also
well.
losing Solanke in the summer, who scored 19 goals for them last year, replacing Evan Nilsson,
they
no
missed the
problem.
beat,
So
yeah.
they done good,
They
but
lost to
not
lost
great.
to ACL,
Bournemouth
innit?
we're putting for now in good season.
So that's 3 teams really in good
So
season.
far-
There's only 2 slots
By the
left.
way, we need to be careful, yeah.
For me, there's too much disparity between good and then below average.
We need to be
Like,
careful now. The next team.
Because
is
this
Brentford.
team, that team could fit into that line.
Brentford have had a good
That place as
season,
well.
bro. Brentford had their highest Premier League finish ever.
I like that.
They won 16 Premier
I
League
like
games
that.
this season. They
Yeah.
lost Ivan Toney, and 2 guys hit 20 goals in the season for them.
Come on,
That's a
man.
good season for
Thanks
Brentford,
God
bro.
the way
That's
he
a good
performed this
season. That's a
year.
good
Bro,
season.
They signed Rinaldi, Michael Coyote.
The cup runs.
boy.
Let's have a look at the cup
Cover, I
runs.
don't get
They lost in the FA Cup to Plymouth, and they lost in the Europa League to Newcastle.
Europa League, yeah.
Carabao.
Sorry, Carabao to Newcastle.
Nah, Brentford have undoubtedly had a good season.
3-1 to
Undoubtedly.
Newcastle.
I would say so.
Yeah,
I
like
think-
for
I
me,
think-
out of all those 3 teams, I think they've had the best good season out of the lot.
And also, very quickly, there's been reports about the manager leaving to join your club. What's your quick thoughts?
he's the one guy who I've said, if Ange ever did leave,
The one guy.
there is only one man.
That's a lot of managers he
Making
wants
him
to
sound like he's like
No,
Pepper.
There's only one man for this job, and that's Thomas Frank.
Only one.
Only one.
Thomas Frank's
for me.
army.
For me.
Enrique becomes available tomorrow. You're not taking it.
Thomas Frank. TF. Yeah.
Who do you want him to bring with you? Who do you want him to bring with him?
Brian and Wembo. Bring me Elias Noriega, man. Come on.
So what? So
That's a good season, undoubtedly.
good season. All right, we're
facts.
putting
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brentford in good
I think some people did
season.
like Brentford, like maybe
I don't-
struggling without Ivan Toney. I think
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good
Well,
point.
they're turning on the league, so it's
The
like,
next team we have is Brighton.
See, this
They-
is an interesting one because they actually did better than they did last year in the league, but there were also a lot
But
of
last
lows.
year they had Europa League football in it.
Yeah, but it was disappointing with De Zerbi the way
So
they
they
kinda
finished
ended,
8th in the league.
yeah.
In terms of the cup runs and everything, let's have a quick look.
I don't think they did much.
So the cup runs is FA Cup. They beat Newcastle, by the way, in the FA Cup away from home, which is massive. They lost to Forest in penalties. Europa League. I don't know why I keep saying Europa League, fam.
Carabao.
Carabao. They lost early rounds.
Yeah. You know what it is? The league, like they finished 8th, which is a good season for Brighton, but there were so many, like they lost 7-0 to Forest this year.
Yeah.
They got smoked 7-0.
Did they beat Brighton? Did they beat Bournemouth 5-0? Or was that
Something like that, yeah.
something like that,
But
innit?
they also missed out on Europe because they were going to qualify for the Conference League through their position. They missed out on Europe because Crystal Palace, their biggest rivals, won the FA Cup. Like that's a stain on them, bro. I can't lie. Like
But I feel like the transfer, I don't think they've had a lot of hits.
I think Minte's been pretty good this year.
Minte's been good. The
O'Reilly's been good in
Abadani, who
spells.
they signed for 45 million from Leeds. I know he scored a couple
Started
of goals.
well.
I think he's been decent.
Started off well.
The Turkish Donny, I've barely seen him anywhere. He signed him for 35 million.
That's where you were gassing him up last year.
Ferdi Cardioglu, huh?
Ain't he a player that feels with gas up? Yeah. You call him 30 as well, too. What do you call him?
He hasn't done well in terms of player performances. Batoma had to really replicate what he did last season.
He had a great season, Mitoma.
Estepianan, nowhere to be seen. So I feel like, I'm going to be so real, I'm putting them below average season. But and towards the higher end of below average.
I think the signings haven't been horrible. I think maybe Hertzler is a bit of question marks. To be fair, he did do better than De Zerbi last year, but is he the guy to kind of take Brighton forward? I've heard a few of their fans kind of indifferent about him, to be honest.
I hear it. I think it's because of their performances, but I actually think, bro, the guy's 33.
Yeah.
It's his first year managing in the Premier League, and he's beaten De Zerbi's point tally. I think he's got the same number of losses as Man City and
For them to
what's
be
his name,
8th,
Chelsea.
on paper, it's a good season.
I'm deep
Yeah,
in it, yeah.
it's-
They finished above Bournemouth.
Yeah. So for me, I'm
Oh,
like...
there was the expectation
The
for Bournemouth
expectation
and
for them
Brentford
was
right
to challenge for the European spots. I think I'm happy with what you said in terms of the
And
higher end
what's
of the below
What's
average.
the thing you said just now about even their transfers?
The
Even though they've
transfers,
sold a lot.
yeah.
45 million
They lost
there,
Pascal Gross
35
this
million
summer,
here.
Pascal
They
Gross.
signed that. Obviously, they got that kid coming from Sunderland now. The one
Matt
that scored the
O'Reilly
winner.
came in.
Like I said, you got Matt
Viefra
O'Reilly.
came in.
Wiener
you had
came in, yeah,
Ruda,
Viefra.
Ruda.
He got injured, I think.
Matt Sweefer.
I'm happy to put them below
average season towards the higher end. Yeah. And now we've got a European champion. European
These
champion.
ones are hilarious, you know.
Up the Chelsea, baby. Listen, up the Chelsea. All the money.
As the Chelsea representative.
All the money which they spent.
Yeah.
New manager coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. They started decent.
Started well.
They
were second in the league, no?
They started well. And this is
up
where
until December, they were in the title race.
And everyone had them, can they win the league? Can they win the league? Of course, they had that little bad patch. Cool. Europa League, they won it.
Europa League, you got to stop saying this league, man.
Conference League, they won it. To be fair, yeah, they were the only team there. Let's be real.
I think he's doing it on purpose because you're Europa League. He's trying to get onto your son. Say no more.
Conference League, they had to win it. In terms of the cup competitions, I'm checking very quickly.
They didn't do much in either competition.
FA Cup, they
lost to Brighton.
They lost to Brighton.
2-1.
And Carabao, they lost early rounds. They finished in Champions League. They finished top 4.
Yeah. They achieved their target.
The target was to finish top 4. Huh?
Fourth.
They finished fourth. They won a European competition.
I think it's a great season for Chelsea.
If
you had asked Chelsea fans at the start of the season, what was the objective? Get back into the Champions League, win a trophy. I think it's Enzo Maresca's first season.
And if I'm being honest, I think I can't remember who was on the table with me on the preview episode. I remember when we was grading their transfers. We did not rate it.
I don't think they had a great
and I don't think anybody did. And rightly so.
Yeah, I don't think Sancho's been a total success.
Sancho,
Felix has been a disaster.
Sancho, Felix, Jorgensen, Neto. It hasn't been a great window.
Maresca effectively took over Pochettino's team and improved it.
Achieved the target, won a trophy on top of that as well. And of course, it was a trophy they were supposed to win, but imagine they didn't. So for me, I would actually look at it as a great season.
They did what they set out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the best way to
put it. So, yeah. Exactly. So for Chelsea, we're putting them in great season. The next team who, let's be real, yeah. Listen,
I wish there was a category above great season.
Of course.
I would put them there.
Crystal Palace.
Yes.
Great season.
FA Cup.
The league don't even matter because the league, for me, they are almost like Brentford. 12th is guaranteed Crystal Palace at the end of every season. But the fact that they won the FA Cup against Man City, the way it was done as well, the run was magical, I feel like, as well. Smashing Aston Villa in the semi-final as well. I think, bro, that team
and
is
also, you know what's...
Did they beat Fulham away?
Yeah. Fulham away 3-0 in the quarterfinals, which goes under the radar.
Crazy. So, for that magical cup
first
run
ever
alone,
English trophy as well, isn't it?
Facts. First ever trophy,
just
dark broken.
Great season.
Put that straight in the bag. Easy.
The next team is Everton. Of course, Moyes came in. They finished 13th. He saved that, absolutely.
Bro, they're 13th.
13th, which at one point, before Moyes joined, they were 18th.
They were threatening
17th. 17th. Transfers didn't really do much.
I disagree. I think Ndiaye has been brilliant for them, man. He's been really good. I think O'Brien has been decent for them as well too.
And that Alcaraz kid.
Yeah.
He joined in midway, no?
They've had a couple of useless ones.
Broja came in, Mangala came in.
The guy from Leeds, what's his name?
Begovic came in.
Yeah.
What about that guy? Was he this season?
Mason Holgate?
Mason Holgate is not. He's not a
Lindstrom.
Was he this season?
Yeah. He was this season. 18 million.
So
2 million. Sorry.
Where are we putting Everton for you guys?
It's weird because
I
don't think it's below average because where they finished is.
Probably around where did they finish last year? I swear they finished lower mid-table last year.
Last year
I think Dyche had
last year they finished 15th.
Yeah.
No, but that's remember they had 10 points or 9 points deducted with that Dyche season.
They weren't that bad last year. Yeah.
So it's like, am I looking at them going? You know what? Was I anticipating them to have a good run this season?
Okay, it's weird because the main debate here is a poor season or below average season.
Below average.
Season.
They stayed up. Everton stayed up and they stayed up comfortably.
They got relegated. They've been relegated.
Everton were putting below average. The next team is Fulham. They finished 11th in the league. They lost, of course, to Aston Villa. In terms of the other League Cup, they finished early as well. What do we say?
I think this is a simple below average one. There's not even really too much to talk about.
It's mad because
they flirted with the Europa League spots at the start of the season, slowly faded away. I mean, I'm looking at even individual performances. Nothing really stand out there for me.
Remember, they did lose.
I've always said
they lost Palhinha. They got Sanderberg, who had a great season.
Back on the transfer which they brought in, I think there was a lot of hype. Smith Rowe, Reece Nelson.
Yeah,
they signed.
Didn't they get Joachim Andersen back from Crystal Palace as well?
Yeah.
Anderson they go back, but even the player performance Sessegnon
returning.
The one person I'm disappointed with is Muniz. They He did nothing.
I'm not really. I never really bought him.
But I think that's more on Jimenez.
Jimenez had a great bounce back season.
I
think Fulham had a decent season, honestly. Yeah. I think it's a little harsh, the below average.
That's why I wish there was a category that said something like that, bro.
I would call it maybe decent. I wouldn't say below. Hey, producers, can we change it to decent? Below average makes it sound a little too harsh, I feel. Because I don't think Fulham have had a below average season.
I don't even think Everton had a below average season.
We know where we're going to put them above Everton.
Yeah, they're in that.
They're above
tier.
Everton.
Yeah.
Are they before Brighton or above Brighton? In your guys' opinion, who do you think?
Below Brighton.
Below Brighton, yeah? Alright, cool.
Average.
Average season. Alright, we changed it to average season. Leah's request is getting accepted.
Good call. That's good call.
Good call. Below average, it makes it too hard.
Good call. Well, good call. Good call. The next team is... let's be real, yeah? 19th. I'm going to be real. This is my first... I'm putting them in Paul. The reason why I said Paul, that was hella hype on McKenna. Or McKenna Ball.
They did the Fuad experiment.
But I think McKenna did okay. I think McKenna as a coach.
Yeah.
But I think McKenna.
Do you know what? I was happy with their because they went EFL All Stars as well. Was it Jack Clark?
But I think it bodes well for them, Fuad, because I think next season, for example,
they're one of the teams going to bounce back.
Yeah, and I think McKenna will stay. I don't think McKenna coached a bad season, but I think you look at the squad for Ipswich.
It's just naive.
It's naive, but it's also. The quality's just not there, bro. Like Delap, to be fair to him, he's gonna get a big move to Chelsea.
And I always think the gap between the Championship and the Premier League every season
more and more.
is getting bigger and bigger.
Scarily
Teams
more.
that come up, you're not gonna be able to come up with the core of your Championship squad. Yeah. You're gonna have to do the 100 mil splash and take that gamble.
And what's kind of killed Championship clubs nowadays is Premier League are starting to dabble into the Championship.
Oh yeah.
So now, like you said, the players like Jack Grealish at Villa, where he was highly rated. He comes back up with them, might go down, but no one's really trying to cop him because they're like, you know what?
Yeah, but for you to be perceived...
Now it's, they're doing the Wharton, they're doing the Eze, all that stuff.
You came into the season being perceived as the most entertaining team out of the Championship.
McKenna Ball.
And then you finished what? And you finished below Leicester. Come on,
yeah, but that was towards the end of the season.
And I don't care, but it still matters.
No, they're poor for sure.
I'm putting poor.
I think you're harsh on Ipswich.
Because they won what? I think they won one game at Portman Road, and that was Chelsea.
They won what?
One game at home. I think it was Chelsea.
They won one game at home all season.
What?
I think so. I'm not 1,000% sure.
Impossible.
I mean, bro, they have. Did they crack 20 points? It might not be impossible.
Wait.
Nah, he did like 22.
No,
I think.
I mean that was.
Allah, you're right.
That was in the FA Cup.
Allah, you're right.
Wait,
they won one game at home all season.
No,
I watched
they
Premier League
beat
football,
Nice.
bros.
That was. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you're right.
I watched football, boys.
They won one game all season. Yo,
at home. That's
at home.
You know, if you're a relegation team, like your home form is what you're going to bank on. The whole Nottingham Forest, the reason why they stayed up the past few years, City ground. We're going to make that a fortress.
Paul is guaranteed now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely poor, of course.
Paul, 100%. The next team. That is
the fact that you,
bro.
Nah, he saw that on Sky Sports or something this morning. I'm telling you.
I remember the one game.
I watch every Ipswich game at home though.
No.
He's tracking them down as it happens. There's another one.
No, so I tell you what it is. I remember watching the Chelsea game and they lost. They beat them 1-0. Amari Hutchinson. From there, I'm like, you know what? You know, you can look at Southampton or whatever. Go, you know what? They've won maybe one or two, but
like you didn't beat Leicester at home. You didn't beat all of these bum teams. Nah, that's crazy.
The next team is Leicester. Of course, they had two managers. The second manager came in. United legend, Real Madrid legend. You know what I mean?
You're claiming us.
Malaga legend.
Real Madrid legend. Malaga legend as well.
Schalke legend.
Schalke, Hamburg.
Is it Hamburg?
Yeah, Schalke. Raul Schalke.
Yes. I knew he was German.
Don't
even do it.
Don't claim my legends, by the way. You got a cheeky golden Pichichi for you guys.
He had a good season. Well,
great player. La
Liga season.
Great player. No doubt about it. Legend. He ain't a legend.
Good player for us. Good servant.
By the way,
can we start off by, especially with Leicester, I felt like
nobody cares about Jamie Vardy, bro. Get out the league.
Their transfer window wasn't great.
You don't care. Hey, I know why he's saying that.
Bounce. Nobody cares.
The moment we all knew though.
Goodbye, Leicester.
Pick your head up, bro.
Yeah.
Pick your chin up.
Nobody cares about 2016. Good riddance. Enjoy the championship. Fox is hype, man. Kill foxes around here. Fox hunters.
Pow! And Leicester beat them.
Leicester
beat them in the
season. Yeah, they got
away from home.
First game.
Hold on. They drew Andy.
Away from home.
Foxes.
Yeah.
Empty bullets, bro. Oh,
we finish above you in the league, and we got a trophy. Yeah, put your European medals on the table, Leicester. Yeah. Want to flex your little Premier League title, a little fluke.
Well, listen.
Poor season. Bun Leicester, man. For life.
We all knew they were going to get relegated.
Bun
the moment
Mercer
you
as
brought in Jordan Ayew.
Little Leicester.
man.
Sorry.
No. I said we all knew they were going to get relegated the moment they brought in Jordan Ayew from Palace. I said I said, is that what we do with Leicester?
They lost their best player and their manager in the summer.
They brought Odson Edouard as well, didn't they?
No, wait.
Bobby deckled over Reed.
Yes.
But these were all old ones. Is that
This
season?
is this season.
that was
Edouard
this
was
season.
this season.
Edouard was
This
this
season.
season.
Like so
Yeah,
long
bro.
This
It's
season.
I liked
mad.
Alfanus though. I think he's been.
Yeah, I think
He's
he
been
was
good.
good.
He's been good. But yeah, they finished
Was he
18th.
Oliver
Algerian or
Skip.
Moroccan or something?
Thanks to the 30 mil.
Oliver
They were
Skip
like,
was one of
no,
the worst signings.
you know,
Winks, right? Or no, he was with them last
your
year.
double pivot is Winks and Oliver Skip. Come on, come on.
Thank you for the money.
Listen, we're putting Leicester in fourth season.
Hey.
Just for now.
Below
For
Ipswich,
now.
man. Below.
Then we've got Forest. Is that Liverpool?
That's
That's
Forest,
Liverpool.
Forest.
Is that Forest?
Nope.
Nah, that's
Liverpool, bro.
Liverpool. I like my eyesight.
It's alphabetical order,
Then we've got
man.
Liverpool, yeah?
Great.
Number one of the greats.
Yeah, great.
Number one of the greats.
Even
Just
though I
put
think
them there now while we
Let's
discuss.
put them top and we can discuss afterwards whether they are above Palace or before.
They're above.
I feel like
They're above. They're above.
we'll have a conversation. We'll
We
have a
ain't having a
conversation.
So they won the league.
The one that
Carabao
Won the
final.
league with the
easy.
same damn squad last year.
Now listen,
The same
the argument
squad.
isn't whether it's good or great.
Yeah.
It's a great season. It's just the question
No,
is
I'm just-
whether they've had the best team of all Premier League teams.
by far.
We'll see.
That's what I'm saying.
Then we've got City.
I would give them poor, which is harsh because
Wait, what? We're not
Arsenal
going to talk
are-
Liverpool.
Huh?
No,
We're just gonna-
we'll give credit when we rank them as the number one if they
Okay.
if they
Yeah,
are
yeah,
number
yeah.
one.
Okay.
I think
they are,
City
but
have had a
we'll see.
poor season, bro, for their standards. I think they have. They went at one point 1 win in 13. They didn't make it far in the Champions League, which is typically like they literally are a semi-final staple at this point. They had no point threatened for the league. Lost in the FA Cup final to Crystal Palace.
They lost
And
to you
it's
guys in the
City.
Champions League as well,
It's
innit?
Man City. I think with
And you guys are
expectation,
shit.
exactly. It's, with expectation kind of at play here. I think it's a poor season. Now the fact is they didn't finish that many points behind Arsenal, who are in theory two whole tiers ahead of them.
Yeah.
But I think for City, bro, this is not a good season.
You
for
forgot as well. Everything you said spot on. You forgot this Jan window. They signed about 5 players: Marmoush, Kusanov, Vito Rees,
I think a lot of them are
Nico.
For the future, though.
Nico, and then one more.
No, it was just us four.
They signed.
It was just us four, wasn't it?
Is it 4 or 5?
It was 4.
4, I think.
Four.
Marmoush, Rees,
Kusanov.
Kusanov, and
You might as well add Fuad's boy Turkey in there now. You might as well add
Fuad's
Ryan.
boy?
You might as well add
That's
him.
right. That's one, no?
Huh?
But
Say no more. That's what we're doing.
Begging it. It's beg right
Say
here.
no more.
You don't know Ryan like that, man.
Fuad's boy.
You don't know Ryan like that.
hold on. How is it his boy? What has ever been his
You lot
boy?
have conversations, bro. We have
Hey, they don't know.
off the street-
They don't know. They don't know.
conversations.
No
But
more.
Little Arab
Yo,
youth.
Dewey, that's your boy, by the way. Dog. Desiree Dewey is Faisal's boy. How about that?
we share together, bro. We're fine.
But listen, I think you are spot on in terms of City. I've got them poor as well. What about you guys?
I mean, FA Cup final. I mean, even
We
though
lost.
it was a poor season, they still qualify for the Champions League.
I know, but that's
Is-
expected.
I would look at it as
That's
an average
expected.
season, in my opinion. You get to a cup final.
You know what? I
Overall,
low-key wanna
get
move
to the
Arsenal.
Champions
I
League.
low-key want to move Arsenal down to average and Man City to poor. That's what I want to do.
I mean, if you did that, I'd be fine with that.
We'll
And
do
I
that
think
at
we're
the
gonna
end
end
of
up.
that phase.
I'm just maybe not.
We'll come to it. We'll
How
come to
about
it.
how
I think we
about
might
for
end up
now?
doing
How
that.
about
We'll
for
come
now?
to
Because
it.
we know it's not that. We put Man City as average, and then like you said, at the end when you want to move it, let's move it back.
Hold on. How the hell are we putting City average act? Man is saying Champions League football. This expected every year.
Bro, I'm talking for the expectation.
It's
so
expected
you want
every
poor?
year. Champions League football.
So
How
you
are we
want poor?
giving them Champions League credit, bro?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
cool, do
saying,
put
you know,
them
They
if
lost,
this
hold on.
is your
They
worst
lost.
season and
They-
you still finished top 4.
By the way, they were one.
Spurs.
We've got Chelsea and great for finishing
How about
fourth.
this? How about this? The dagger. They were one game away from not even finishing in the Champions League playoffs. They had to beat Club Brugge. In order
Yeah,
to,
facts. They
to
barely
finish.
even qualified. Yeah. Bro, I can't lie.
And
This
they
is-
lost
this
against
is-
Real Madrid, bro.
Yeah.
The hell?
They have the best. They have the best squad, or they're one of the best squads in the league.
It's
They
a
should
poor
be making
season,
top
bro.
4.
It's
Like,
a poor season. City poor. I'm the host, man. Stop City host. Poor season, bro.
I put them poor season, but I think I'm gonna end up moving Arsenal to average.
You're
Right?
towards
Yeah,
the right
I
though,
think
because
that as well.
even the City plays
I'm
one
thinking that as well.
Foden,
The
what
next
was he?
team is the greatest
Oh, well,
English team of all time.
Whoa.
Manchester United.
I'll even
Ain't that
make a
Liverpool?
bigger shot.
Ain't that
I
Liverpool?
think they had a worse season than
Ain't that
Leicester.
Liverpool?
No. It's
Ain't that Liverpool?
It's not. Let's
Ain't
go.
that Liverpool?
You take it.
No, take the floor, man. United means
all
you
yours,
never
man.
had the floor. Here's your
I don't want
moment.
it.
Bye-bye.
I don't want it.
Pass it
Seriously.
to me. Pass it to me.
Hey, yo, Faisal, shut up or leave, man. What did I do? What did I do?
No, please, bro.
You know what
couldn't get it. You could.
You know what kills me? You know what kills me? 6 people laughed. Faisal, Charlie,
You fat piece of bacon.
What was that driving the car?
6 people laughed. The hell?
I didn't even realize when I came in the room, it was like the 50th time he'd got interrupted. I saw his face just explode. I said, yeah.
That was the part. That was the part that killed me. Sharky interrupted me. He was like, well, I give it that evil.
Nah, you made that episode just off of facial expression.
I made it. I spoke 5 words.
That was my favourite bit.
You know which episode you can get more than 5 words?
What's that?
This one, brother. Have the floor, brother.
Put them in poor season. There you go.
5 words, that's what they're getting.
Bottom of fourth season.
Are they? I know we'll get to it.
They had a worse season than Leicester. They had a worse season than
It's the
Leicester.
worst. That's the worst season in the entire Premier League.
25 years, brother.
It's an unmitigated disaster.
Faisal, 25 years.
But I mean, you reached the final. No?
I hate this guy so much, bro. I hate.
You sound Mazraoui.
Mashallah.
Mashallah.
Go ask, you guys want to know the United thoughts? Go Abs Busquets. What's it called? Emergency meeting part 2. He spoke for an hour in there, huh? So.
Cool. We'll put United there for now.
For now.
Next is Newcastle.
I think that's a great season.
Great season.
5th place.
Great season.
Great season.
They
Champions League,
won,
Carabao
they of course
final.
won the first trophy since
50,
60 years, I think.
Yeah, bro.
They finished. They lost quarter-final against Brighton, which fares.
Bro, and they remember who they beat in the final? Beat Liverpool in the final.
Exactly, and they beat Arsenal in the semi-finals of the Carabao.
Is that Selly came this season?
Oh,
Remember that one?
the greatest celebration came
Bro,
exactly.
I think Tonali has had an amazing year.
Exactly.
I think Bruno
Bruno
Guimaraes had a great year. The 2
Tonali
fullbacks.
was
I think
redemption
Newcastle had a
arc.
very good season.
Hole,
Yeah.
bro.
And a lot of
Some
people didn't see
players.
this coming from
They dropped
Newcastle.
Trippier as well. They didn't really bring they had that PSR problems at the start as well. Got Elliot Anderson who had a
Jacob
great
Murphy's
season at
been
Forest.
nuts this year.
And most people, I think, if we did of course, Prem predictions at the start of the season, no one had Newcastle finishing in Champions League.
Only one person
Did
did.
it? Who was that? None of them.
I'm trying to give you credit, bro.
Bro, I remember the comments, that video. Why? Where's Newcastle? Where's Newcastle?
Yeah.
Fair play. Newcastle's here. So
I
what
put
we're
them
saying?
Great season.
Undisputed great season.
Yeah, I
them
think
below
great
Liverpool.
season. I think above Palace as well.
Yes.
It's above
I would
Palace
put
as
them
well.
second to Liverpool.
For
Yeah.
now, we put Newcastle. Great season. The next up is Forest.
I think it's a great season.
A
Champions
great
League
season,
throughout.
man.
And then towards the end, they
It don't matter.
I
They
had
shouldn't be
Forest, I
there.
had Forest getting relegated.
Bro, exactly.
I had Forest 17.
Yeah.
Like expectations. If we put in expectations, let's be real. Yeah. Signings. Every player did well. To be fair.
Yeah.
Cup competitions. They reached the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
Bro, that's unreal.
Yeah. Unreal.
I think, yeah.
They're out in Wembley.
And even you
this.
look at individual performances, you had Chris Wood, you had Murillo, you had Milinkovic, Matt Sells putting on a master.
But you could name 8, 9 of their starters.
Elanga, bro.
I know,
They
yeah.
had so many players balling out as well. Nuno doing his job as well. Every aspect you can judge a club on, I think they passed the marks this
Do you
year.
think? Just a quick question. I saw it the other day. I think they spoke about it on Sky Sport. Do you think, into the context, how they faded away? Do you think that plays into it? That it isn't a good season.
I mean, it's
No, that's not a good season.
No, it isn't considered a great season
Has
because
to be considered a great season, bro.
Great
Yeah,
season?
I think without a doubt they're in Europe, bro.
Do you remember this used to happen to Leicester?
But
a few
they were
years
Champions
back,
League,
where they
bro.
would be third the whole season and then they
But I
would
don't think
fade away.
but okay, I hear that. But I don't think that the expectations early in those seasons was that Leicester were going to go down.
Yeah.
At that point, Leicester had kind of established themselves under Brendan
Facts.
Rodgers. So okay, maybe people thought they were going to be 8th or 7th.
Yeah.
People had them going down.
Yeah.
Like I think it's undoubtedly a
100%.
great season.
Europa
It's just-
League
and
Europa
it
League
was
football is a
and then it was
success.
started- It could have been better than great. It could have been like you make a whole new tier.
Yeah.
I still think it's a great season.
all right, for now we put them just put them behind
Final
Chelsea
team
for now.
in
Yeah.
great season.
Put Forest in great season. That is of course now 5 teams in great season. We can't put any more team in great season. There is still one more team to put in good, 2 in average, and 1 more in poor. And I think that's the next one. Southampton.
So, if anyone's gonna outdo Man United, it might be Southampton, bro. These guys almost broke Derby's record, man.
Yeah,
It's
what
fucking
point,
insane.
bro? I can't lie. Let's not.
But then again, you know how I look at it as well.
Let's not
They
waste
gave
any
you
time.
guys an effing game at Old Trafford.
They give us an effing game. They still lost. What the hell?
Wait, what? Okay, what's that? Oh, well, a lot of.
Tyler did
Come out, these Suleiman that had Mazraoui on. Oh my days.
Let's put
yeah.
Southampton.
Yeah, that's
Let's not waste
straight.
any time. Yeah, let's put them poor season.
Right at the end.
The next up is European winner, European champion,
I mean, hey.
By the way, it's been a week. How does it feel?
I'm still bouncing. Tranquillo. For me, personally, I'm looking at this as a very, very good season.
Yeah, I'll take that.
He wouldn't want to say great.
I mean, great would have been if we didn't have 21 league losses.
Amazingly good season.
By the way, can you...
Hey, what are you trying to do there on the graphic, yeah? Slide that shit up.
Tell me about your Premier League.
Premier League campaign is an absolutely unmitigating disaster. There is no other way to sugarcoat it. It's horrible. 21 losses. I mean, that's more than 22. My bad. I forgot one. I forgot the last day one. 22, bro. We play 38 games in a season. Yeah. That's almost 2/3. 2/3 of your game.
So how many wins out of 16?
How many wins out of 16? But when you get to the final of a European competition and you win that final over Manchester United.
Say again.
Manchester United. 3-time Champions League winners.
How many times
20-time Premier League champions. Listen, they got to the final in 2021.
Winners.
They beat Bilbao in the previous round. They told me Bilbao was their home ground.
What's that? What's the son?
They said we're going home to San Mamés.
We've been in that away dressing room. It's ours. Come here.
How did you let this happen, man? I blame you, like.
You look at it, the parade, the celebrations. It's all beautiful.
You went there,
now.
by the way. I saw that.
Of course.
I heard you gave 2 tickets to your boys for the Bilbao final.
All right, man. Listen, we do what we can for my people. You know what I'm saying? But I would say great season with Champions League football. You know what I mean?
Great season.
Sorry. Good season.
Very good.
Good season. Not great, but delivered their silverware. Broke the trophy drought. 17 years. It's a European competition. Gets you back in the Champions
European
League.
side as well.
Listen, we can write off a league season as a blip. I think Spurs had the worst injury record of any club in a long time. I think every starting 11 player was out for at least a month to 2 months. You were talking about Arsenal's ones earlier. That was 3 or 4 players you mentioned. I could name
they had more than 3 or 4 players.
I know, but I could go 11 and 12.
They didn't finish 17th.
I'm talking, but that's why we finished 17th. You know what I mean? All these
they had
12,
injury
13 injuries.
Second.
We had Vicario out for 3 months. We had Porro. We had Udogi, Van Aven, Romero, Bentancur, Madison, Kulu, Solanke. Every single one. So it's like, you understand why we finished 17th. Obviously, we talked about potentially Thomas Frank coming in.
Understand why
it could be 17th. A whole different season.
Here,
it could be a whole different season next year. You know you're finishing bottom half next year. I promise you I won't be there. I won't be there with you. You think we're mud brothers? We're not. You see that trophy I just took? I've risen above you now. I'm looking down on you.
You see, because I know what. There's only one reason. Because I really want to take that forfeit with you. But there's only one reason I won't, because I'm not Liban. Liban was dumb enough to put faith in this club. I won't do it, but this confidence you have, keep the same energy next season.
You know how Fred says,
let your nuts hang. Keep the I'm not going to be the one to gas United to finish top. Keep the same energy about Spurs, though, huh? About there's no way we finish this low.
Wait. What are you doing? No. The same way.
I'm not putting any forfeit. I will never put faith in
Summer hasn't happened yet.
Summer hasn't happened yet.
But I'm telling you now, Spurs will not be bottom half next season. I can comfortably say that.
Okay, you know what?
I can comfortably say
Start
that.
the season, when transfer's been done, let's chat about it.
They already got Cunha through the door.
Don't make me start I might start talking crazy if we get the right transfers.
They might get Rovella from Lazio. Oh my God! Look at that. What are the Spurs gonna go sign?
Who the hell are they gonna get?
Basil.
They can't even get the lap.
Basil,
They can't even get relegation players.
Who are you gonna sign?
Don't worry.
I'm not worried. Who are you gonna sign?
You focus on United. Yeah.
I'm very. Don't worry. I'm more than focused on United.
Don't worry.
They've signed one man already.
Cunha. The guy with the highest walking stats in the league.
This guy would walk into their team. What's he on about?
They signed a professional walker.
Basil, he would walk into their team. What are you talking about, bro? He'd sleepwalk in your team.
Yeah, hive. You little blonde
You see what this club has done to me, bro? This regular. One to 2 losses, I'm feeling like this.
Mitch.
We can laugh at you.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
These guys signed Solanke 8 goals this season in the Prem.
I bet you Solanke outscores Hoyland next year.
Huh? Hoyland high, bro. What the fuck is he on about?
That's not even a bet. That's not even a forfeit. That's
Who costs more?
Huh?
Exactly.
Does he act like I'm a Hoyland fan?
That's your striker. Back your man.
Huh? How about this? How about your striker outscores both their strikers?
Who's even our striker for next season? What are you talking about?
Zerchi and Hoyland?
Zerchi is not even a real guy, so first of all.
Zerchi, whatever.
Secondly, what, we're not going to sign a striker in the summer. It's not
Who you signing?
Don't worry about it.
What is me? Pressure. What is him? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You don't want to give me answers. I'm keeping my secrets.
I
work closely with my sporting director, you know what I mean?
Wait, you're sporting director in jail?
Yeah, that's my dog. Who do you think's out here in the field?
I wanted to ask you guys, who do you think will have a better season next year? Kulu or Ahmad?
Who?
Kulusevski or Ahmad?
Kulusevski's gonna have a great first half of the season like always, and then second half we probably won't see him again. But
Ahmad's gonna be playing most likely wing back.
He played wing back this season.
But it's been rotating.
No, he's been playing wing back most of the season. His best performance is wing back.
I think.
You don't watch Man United, bro. Seriously.
Alhamdulillah, I don't watch United.
Who wants to? Who the hell wants to?
That's not flex. Wait. That is not flex. You don't watch United. I don't want to watch United.
You guys got wing backs next season, huh? You might need to start paying attention.
I don't want to watch it, huh?
Carreras, huh?
Quarterback.
Taking our academy products, man.
Shit. Hey.
It's my academy product. What are we talking about?
He's ours, bro.
Brother, he's a Castilla player.
Well, when he was like 12.
He came from me to you, back to me.
You birthed him, we developed him, you're taking him now.
Developed height, bro. The hell 1 year for you, man. Huh? Next season, you know what?
Hey, United are shameless, I swear.
Spurs, a good season. The last two teams is West Ham. West Ham finished.
I want to apologize. I owe an apology to City. Move City up to average.
Thank you, man. West Ham had a poor season.
West Ham were worse than City.
That's what I was saying.
How about this? The last two teams, put them both in average. Both West Ham and Wolves. Put them both average for now. And now, let's analyze. Now we've got 5 teams in each category.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all know Liverpool, have they had the greatest season of all the season, all Premier League teams?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
You don't agree?
Bro, listen, manager coming in after his first year, you normally replacing a big figure like that always takes a bit of time. The fact that he's taken no steps
for me, it's not even about that. The league is the bread and butter for most teams.
What he's done in every game as well, the way he's improved individual players like Gravenberch, you've seen Salah's gone up another level that we didn't think he could. Bro, it's undisputed.
I just think the league is the bread and butter every year for most of these big teams, bro. Like what the Champions League, I almost feel it's like a bonus depending on the run you can go on and stuff. But other than you guys, no team ever goes into the Champions League and it's like, oh, we're aiming to win it. Like,
and to be fair, they were dominant in the Champions League up until they bucked PSG. And PSG were the eventual winners, so it's kind of like if you're going to lose to anybody, lose to the eventual winners.
Liverpool is number 1. Number 2, Newcastle or Palace?
I'm happy with Newcastle.
Have Newcastle?
That whole
To be fair, Champions League. They got
grade.
I rate Palace for winning that trophy, but what Newcastle done, they did the same thing. They've won a trophy in 50 odd years, and they cemented Champions League football with that.
But now third, has Palace had a better season than Chelsea?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, bro.
I think Palace is.
I think
Palace is second half.
I'm putting Chelsea over Palace.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Top 4, they got what they wanted. Top 4, and they got
Chelsea's objectives were
the
all
Conference League. I'm taking with like a heavy dose of salt. That's the only thing.
Hey, don't be shameless. You won Europa League.
Nobody was expecting that from us.
Chelsea's boxes.
Every round, you know, I was always going to lose the ball.
Hey, Fuad, I was.
Yeah,
I was.
Get a load of this guy, huh? Get a load of this guy, huh? They thought he was going to lose the ball.
Some guys have the eyes, some
lose the RZ. No, let's not do this.
No, I don't thought you were going to lose to Bodo Glimt, bro. What the f*** are you AZ? Who thought you were going to lose to AZ, bro?
Don't say that, bro. No,
he's trying to gas it up now, man.
Don't do that.
So we thought we were going to lose to Bodo Glimt, man.
But Faisal, you know my argument, because I'm presuming you guys would put Chelsea above Palace.
I'm putting Chelsea above.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
No, for me, the reason I say it's not, you alluded to it just now, where you said all Chelsea have done it. They've ticked the boxes that was meant to be ticked in terms of winning, getting Champions League football again, Conference League,
winning a trophy,
and winning the trophy. That come from that's what it ticked. I don't think Palace had a box to tick. They probably said a decent cup run.
True.
Have a decent, decent season. They turn it into. We're playing Europe.
Finish 12th again.
Finish 12th. We've ticked that box. But the other box, they didn't even write that. That's day out. That's how I look at it.
That's a good argument. You know what? Let's keep it. That's a good point. Put Newcastle 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Forest 5th. So the top is, are we all happy with the first?
Gridlock.
Yeah.
Cool. Second category. Good season. Brentford as the 6th best team.
I think Spurs should be second or first in that list.
What?
I think so. Actually, no. Oh, whoa, I take it back.
Make the
I
case,
just
my
can't.
friend.
Well, I meant no.
Keep going.
No, I take it back. Well, I take it back because Arsenal had a better season than you guys, so I'll take it back.
Bro, I can't lie. As Leah said, I'm putting Brentford as the best team in good season. Aston Villa 7, Bournemouth 8th.
Okay.
Now we're saying
I'm not really that moved by Aston Villa's season, man. I can't lie.
Same.
You guys are higher on.
I'm saying, well, I
can't lie. In terms of expectation, Bournemouth has had a better season than Aston Villa.
What, finishing 9th?
What about Aston Villa? They finished 4th last season.
They have
They
like
were
6 times the wage bill.
They had
Bournemouth,
Champions
bro.
League football this year to compete with.
So?
How many teams have you seen compete Champions League football and qualify for Champions League again?
Look at the players they
That are
signed.
not traditionally one of the top 6 sides. Well, yeah, they went heavy and they lost out on the last day to a scam goal. Like, you're not punishing them on a scam goal.
They got smoked by us anyways, bro. They should have lost that game anyways. They did. We should have battered them 4-0 that game.
you're right.
I mean, Martinez, keep it cool, bro.
I think I'd have Arsenal ahead of Bournemouth.
Huh? Arsenal ahead of Bournemouth?
Yeah, I think I'd have Arsenal ahead of Bournemouth.
Arsenal are so weird, bro. Arsenal, I don't think have had a great season.
They have not had a great season, but I'm looking at them like, Bournemouth, they did good in the league.
In second.
Wait. So you're saying Arsenal above Bournemouth. He's saying I'm putting Arsenal a below category in average season.
No.
I don't know. No.
What do you say?
I
think they stay there.
I do.
Yeah,
At the start of the episode, I thought I was that as well, but then I looked at the other teams. I'm like, nah, you're right.
They've had a mess season for their standards, but any team would love to have second.
Bournemouth beat Arsenal home and away.
2 games. If we're gonna judge that,
The
it by
best
2
two
games,
games,
that makes no sense.
I think the Champions League semi-final run for Arsenal
With
gasses
this nicest theory, we're undefeated against flipping.
Hey,
We beat Villa. We beat Villa home and away. We're
Respect
undefeated
that
against the first 2.
Hey, what are you? Don't be insulting any of the producers, yeah?
He's a nice, bro.
I like this.
I can't help out.
Hey, that's my staff. Hey,
I like this.
My stuff.
That's your
Your stuff.
You're his staff.
Hey, no. Don't disrespect the producer. Say sorry to him.
I like
I'm not
it.
saying sorry.
Apologize.
I like it. Respect.
But I can't lie. Bournemouth above Aston Villa for me, 100%. So I'm put Bournemouth above Aston Villa. So put Bournemouth 7.
This is all like you can make arguments for any of these teams. I think it's.
But he's saying Arsenal above Bournemouth.
I think
you
they
can make
did.
the argument.
Season-wise, yeah.
Hold on. You are the Nas who started the video said I put Arsenal before season.
And guess what?
Why?
Guess what? As we did the list, and I looked at it, and I went,
That's what I was saying.
you know what?
Look at the totality.
You might be right,
Yeah.
I can't put them average season.
I think they stay there.
My expectations
stay
clouded
right
it way
where they
more.
The fact they won Champions League semi-final, you're saying I never thought Arsenal would go that far.
No, I expected one of the trophies, but yeah.
Okay, put Arsenal 9 for now. Spurs 10. Are we happy with the second one?
I'm happy with that.
Oh, you're not gonna make the argument Spurs had a better season than Arsenal. I know you're dying to. You might as well make it.
Listen, he made
I know
the
you're
statement.
I retracted it very fast.
I know you're dying to make it. I know you're dying to make it.
No. I don't want to make that statement. I looked at it and I laughed.
I agree with you.
I mean, what? Put your medals on the table. How many you got? Put your European medals on the table. In your whole life. None. Talk to me. You can't talk to me, blood. I run North London, blood.
Empty bullets, man.
You come
Every
N17.
player, every staff member at Man United deserves to suffer there for the rest of their lives for this shit, man. Honestly,
You guys definitely.
No, but we deserve it for not even for losing, but for
that.
letting them to hang their nuts like this.
Yo. Let my nuts breathe.
That's crazy, man. That is insane. The third category is average
No, I
season.
can't lie. I sounds mad. Yeah, you got to put Arsenal above Villa. You got to put Arsenal above Villa
I think so too.
because we played exactly the same competition.
Yeah, no, I
One
think
team
so too.
finished second.
Yeah, I think so too.
Been in the semi-final, something. Been in the semi-final of the Carabao
I
Cup.
agree.
The other team,
That
we
is-
beat him.
I
And we
agree.
beat him away from home. And we've done nothing.
That's a clutch point. Put Arsenal above Aston Villa. In terms of, so we're happy with the second one, yeah.
I think that's perfect.
Third one, Fulham first.
Brighton
in
gotta be
average.
above Fulham. No, Brighton gotta be above Fulham.
Brighton above Fulham. I agree.
Yeah, I'll
I
give you
agree.
that.
Put Brighton above Fulham. Fulham second.
Yeah.
Everton third. West Ham.
West Ham should be.
Okay, so
poor.
now, this is where we put the last two
West
teams.
Ham
there.
should be poor. Wolves.
Yeah, I think
stay at
Wolves-
Average.
yeah,
Because
I think-
Vitor Pereira did a really
What
good
was
job
it
with
from like March to about May? I think
They turned it around.
He turned it around.
Okay. I'm more than happy to put West Ham poor, which I agree with. I'm not putting City in average season.
But hold on.
It is an average season.
But hold on. No, Faisal, I agree with you. I think it's a poor season. But also, if I were to tell you West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester, United, and Southampton, who's had a better season than City?
All right, cool. The expectation for Leicester and both Southampton, Ipswich and Southampton.
So are you going to say that Ipswich or Leicester should be above Man City? Are you going to make that argument?
Expectations.
No, but so
Expectations.
who's going above City? Go make the argument. They finished with 20 points. At no point did they even threaten to stay up.
Okay. Forget Southampton.
All of them. You think I'm talking about Southampton? I'm talking about Leicester and Ipswich. They finished with 20-something
And United
points.
is the worst season ever. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. City had a bad season for their
Swap City and West Ham.
The last team is now West Ham.
West Ham, bro.
City.
People were saying had the best summer window of the entire Premier League, and at one point,
I was one of them.
The last 2 games, they kind of saved it.
That's
But bro, they were.
I was giving them
West Ham
A-stars.
were like 17th,
They got
16th.
Wan-Bissaka.
When did they finish? 16th.
West Ham finished
16th.
14th. Come on, man.
They were 16th, 17th for most of it, bro.
So they're higher than United. They finished higher than United.
I mean, everyone did, bro. It's
Not Spurs.
Okay.
Beat them in the final.
West Ham.
That's how you bring it in. That's how you bring it back in to get what I wanted.
West Ham finished with 43 points.
Oh, they broke up 40
Someone needs
points.
to pay for this, man. Someone needs to pay for this.
You know my favorite thing about it is they can never take it away.
Never.
Anytime, bah! Europa League medal.
The thing is, any argument, you can just throw it in, bro.
That's it. Light work, you know what I mean?
That's like
Alright.
mine, man. 3p.
European heritage in white.
This is like when the billionaire goes outside and shakes hands with the homeless guy who got a fresh meal for the first time today, bro.
Wait.
What's going on here, bro?
Did you see him? Wait, did you hear what he said? Hold on. Did you hear what he
European
said?
heritage in
It's
white.
European heritage.
In white. I said, what?
What's European heritage?
I'm telling you.
What? 3 Europa Leagues, 3 Champions Leagues? Let's bring Europe together.
What the fuck are you on about? You see what I mean? He's lost his whole mind. And the billionaire goes outside and he starts shaking the hand of the
With a millionaire.
homeless guy.
You know what I mean?
The homeless
Millionaires.
guy got a fresh meal for the first time today. And the billionaire goes to shake his hand. Honestly, you should go wash your hands right now.
Yo,
stinks.
we beat you in the Champions League.
Like 8 years ago.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Harry Winks was putting back
You
the...
remember Moussa Dembele when he boxed your midfield, didn't it? I'm just saying. Took him to school.
So what? So we're putting basically City as average, yeah?
I think they ought to be average.
Yeah, they had a better season than West Ham.
Alright, put West Ham as the top team there.
Yeah.
And so we're putting City as the last team in average.
Put United behind Southampton.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I wanted to. I said that earlier.
And put Leicester above Ipswich.
I don't think so. I think I'm Ipswich.
Nah, bam.
Not Bam. What?
Who's
You just
Ipswich?
said not Bam.
No. Bro, they came with more expectation and they finished below Leicester.
Leicester came as league winners from the year before, bro. They won the championship.
But Leicester
And they have
finished-
more experience as well, too,
Leicester
bro.
finished above Ipswich. I don't care, bro. I'm gonna say it as many times as it is, bro. I've been saying this whole
We've had
season.
Zerchi,
Ipswich.
Ipswich.
I've been saying the whole season.
Nah,
Get used to
I'm begging someone put together the Faisal dictionary.
I've
I
been
need
saying
to
the
know
whole
all
season.
these words.
So the last one is Leicester. Yeah, I think that'll be the last one.
Oh.
I'm just, man, I don't want to see City in average season. That's not an average season. They went from
just the average.
They went from a 4p
FA
from a
Cup
4p.
final.
You see, if we were to make it back to below average, then you would agree with it. But it's not. It's called average. I think
Yeah,
it's fair.
there isn't a new
I think it's
category.
fair. You have to. You know what? Even the people watching, you have to view it not in terms of the categories, but like their placement. If you're making a whole league table of like where they finished, City are 6th bottom. They had the 6th worst season in the league. So don't look at it as average. It's the 6th worst.
First, so in total we got, in terms of the 20 teams, Liverpool, Newcastle, Palace, Chelsea, Forest,
United.
Brentford, Bournemouth, Arsenal, Aston Villa and Spurs in good season. Average season is Brighton, Fulham, Everton, Wolves and City. And of course, the poor season is West Ham, Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton. And the worst team of any Premier League
That team hit 12 points, bro, and we're talking about Man United the worst.
The worst team is Manchester United. Put down in the comments if you guys
Agree with that.
or disagree with our selections. If you disagree, put your own list there. We'll of course have a look at it. You might have a better list than ours. Don't forget to of course like the video. So don't be a haywan. You want to be a hero or do you want to be a haywan? If you want to be a hero, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon. Love.
Peace.